Welcome to the Source One podcast. Consider us your on-the-go source for the latest insights in the procurement, supply management, and strategic sourcing industry. The first step to any cost reduction project is to determine savings opportunities by conducting a spend analysis. For many companies, however, collecting and making sense of spend data can be challenging, especially when the data is decentralized and varied across departments and locations. In this Intro to Spend Analysis series, Source One Associate Director and Spend Analysis Expert Jennifer Ulrich will walk us through how to conduct a spend analysis. Kicking off the six-part series, Jennifer will explain how to get started, including where to begin in data collection and pitfalls to avoid when looking at accounting data.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Ulrich, and I'm an Associate Director here at Source One, and today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about spend analysis, and this will actually be a multi-part series. We're just kicking it off today with the first steps in the process of where do I begin. So imagine your organization is looking to cut costs and find savings opportunities. For many companies, this means going to market with suppliers in the form of a strategic sourcing event. However, to conduct an effective sourcing event means prioritizing spend opportunities, organizing the projects, assigning resources, and forming a go-to-market strategy. Early in the process, your goal should be to drive momentum by targeting a few easy wins. How do you kick this off? By first identifying the categories of spend with significant savings opportunities that also can be sourced immediately. First, you must start by sorting your suppliers into categories based on the products and services they provide. Once that is all set, you and your team will need to identify the cost savings projects you want to launch and begin data collection. Before you jump into collecting data and performing a manual spend analysis, it's worth noting that there are tools that can simplify this process. However, to implement them correctly, your team may need to sacrifice some time and money. If your organization is new to strategic sourcing, you should consider a spend analysis tool as an investment to drive further efficiency after you have proven that it works. So what exactly are you looking at when you get started here? The best place to begin collecting data for the basis of the strategic sourcing initiative is in the general ledger or accounts payable ledger. The general ledger data involves a registry of all financial transactions, which are usually sorted into groups by the accounting department. While this is a great place to start, solely using this information provided is a mistake, as the suppliers categorized by accounting are not typically aligned with purchasing requirements or how they should actually be categorized from a sourcing perspective. For example, a GL might have both paint and quality filters classified under the office supplies category. While the classification serves its purpose for accounting, you want to further define these items when seeking suppliers in a strategic sourcing event. Although a general ledger needs to be modified, it guides you in the right direction from which categories, from accounting point of view anyway, use the most spend and influence the organization the most, which is the purpose of this phase of data collection. Usually, each item in the general ledger includes a description or comment. If the purchase of a good or service is represented in the transaction, it will probably be mentioned in the description, but not always. The challenge with this is that this description information, which is taken from accounts payable or purchase order database, will not be the same for each transaction. So it requires some additional tweaks to the data or additional data collection. Depending on your enterprise resource planning or ERP system, an accounts payable report can be a guiding tool to focus on sourcing opportunities, but not a sole resource for this activity. This report has several advantages compared to a general ledger. For example, while the general ledger lists every debit or credit transaction an organization has made, an accounts payable report only shows money paid to vendors. Also, since the report is specific to vendors, supplier names will probably be more consistent, making the filtering process easier. A disadvantage of using an accounts payable report instead of a general ledger is that it is possible that each business location within an organization may be working under its own accounts payable journal. If you are sourcing for multiple locations, this means you would need to do a report for each particular location and then combine the files, which can be a very time-consuming activity. Over the next few weeks, we'll continue the process of conducting a spend analysis, including the type of data to assess, how to deal with decentralized data, standardizing and centralizing data, ranking spend categories, and understanding your supplier mix.
Thanks for tuning in to the Source One podcast. Remember to visit us online at www.sourceoneinc.com. For more insights from our strategic sourcing and procurement experts, check out our blog at www.strategicsorcerer.com. Want to provide us feedback? Have an idea for another podcast? Let us know. by emailing us at prrequest@sourceoneinc.com. Thanks for listening.